Hi fam, hi guys, welcome to my YouTube video once again, and you're here with 𝒆𝒅𝒄. If you're here for the first time, this is Body Truth with 𝒆𝒅𝒄. Here we basically talk about health in relation to physiotherapy. On today's episode, I'll be talking about something that interests me the most as a student still currently struggling and navigating life of a physiotherapy student. There's this particular condition impeding, like I'm telling you, like this condition is out of 50% of the patients we have undergone, like about 30% comes down with this condition. So this is major of the condition we experience in pediatrics posting. So, and this is cerebral palsy. And then when you hear cerebral palsy, there are two things involved: cerebral and palsy. When you say cerebral, you're talking about the region of the brain that is affected. When you say palsy, you're talking about paralysis, that is restriction of movement. Imagine when there's restriction of movement in this part of the brain, what occurs, what happens. And why is this topic important? This topic is basically important because the society we are in, there's this stigmatization impinged on these individuals undergoing this condition, and it amazes me the most because, come on, they are also human.
See, whether government or no government, 𝐂𝐞𝐫𝐞𝐫 must survive, and you too must survive.
Yeah, they are humans, they are unique in their own way, and that's what makes them different: your authenticity, your uniqueness. Yeah, so that's what brings us to this topic. Imagine a world without physiotherapy, and this was the case. Wow. So let's get into this topic. So we both basically know that major of us are aware that cerebral palsy, with the name cerebral palsy, cerebral brain area, the cerebral region of the brain is affected. Then palsy, paralysis, there's restriction in that brain area. What causes cerebral palsy? What causes the cerebral palsy? Cerebral palsy can be as a result of lack of oxygen. It can be as a result of premature injury. It can be as a result of injury after delivery. So cerebral palsy now can occur either before birth, it can occur during delivery, and can occur after delivery. And there are different causes. It can be, like I said, it can be an infection. It can be oxygen, this due to lack of oxygen. It can be as a result of injury during delivery. Okay, so this brings me to a fun part. Do you know that majority of people, everybody wants a safe delivery? Basically, if you ask a human now, a mother, what type of delivery do you want to go through, he or she will definitely say Hebrew delivery. What do they mean by Hebrew delivery? Hebrew delivery is the natural delivery. Everybody believes that this was what was promised in the Bible by God. But then again, as if you're a CS mother, this is your advantage now. This is to your advantage. The fact that in CS procedure, there's a lesser probability of your child coming down with cerebral palsy, unlike a woman that undergoes Hebrew delivery or natural delivery or forceps delivery. Your child may come down with cerebral palsy, but once you're a CS mother, your child is probably going to be safe from this. What is the presentation for cerebral palsy? Okay, some presentation you might see in a cerebral palsy patient is restricted movement, muscle tone, increased muscle tone, and then there might be posture effects. Yes, this individual might not be able to sit properly, stand properly, and may be struggling with one or two types of cerebral palsy. So this is the one particular thing that many people are now aware. Everybody assumes that cerebral palsy, the condition are alike. No cerebral palsy case is the same. No cerebral palsy condition is the same. And basically, there are 4 types of cerebral palsy. You have your spastic cerebral palsy, you have your ataxic cerebral palsy, you have your dyskinetic cerebral palsy, and you have your mixed cerebral palsy. With the name implies, they have different presentation and different affectation. The first cerebral palsy we're talking about on this video, spastic cerebral palsy. When you hear spastic, what should come to your mind is restriction, right? So spasticity is restriction. So this is where the muscle is restricted, you can't properly move this body. So in conclusion, the presentation you'll be seeing here is tightness. Yeah, this patient will be experiencing tightness, difficulty moving the limbs or moving the facial muscles and all that. So that's basically, and this cerebral palsy is major of the cases. It contains about 77% of cerebral, out of 100%, 77% of people that comes down with cerebral palsy comes down with spastic cerebral palsy. Spastic cerebral palsy, restriction of movement. Dyskinetics. Okay, the second cerebral palsy condition that affects me, that is majorly known, or that affects the public majorly, is dyskinetic cerebral palsy. Dyskinetic cerebral palsy. Okay, when we say dyskinetic cerebral palsy, this is talking about uncontrolled twisting movement. When I say uncontrolled twisting movement, it's imagine where the muscle is too tight and suddenly it's too loose. That's what occurs in this kinetic. As name implies, this defective kinetic movement. So there's uncontrolled twisting movement, and these in patients that have experienced this condition, and out of 100, about 5% is attributed, or it's is categorized under this dyskinetic cerebral palsy. The third cerebral palsy condition, ataxic cerebral palsy. When you hear ataxic cerebral palsy, what comes to your mind? Yeah, balance and coordination, right? Yes. So exactly, that's what this cerebral palsy deals with. And this cerebral palsy, it affects about just 3% of people out of 100. So yeah, this cerebral palsy condition, it's not as it does not affect more population, unlike dyskinetic. Dyskinetic now, like we said before, it's sudden loss of muscle tone and sudden gain of muscle tone, right? There is, you see hypotonia and hypertonia in dyskinetic cerebral palsy. But now ataxic, there is loss of balance, there is no coordination. So this patient definitely be presented in a shaky presentation. That's what this patient will be presented with, shaky movements. This patient can't probably stand without shaking. This patient can properly sit without shaking. Now that brings us to the fourth cerebral palsy, which is mixed cerebral palsy. As the name implies, it's a combination of the initial already mentioned in this video, which is the spastic cerebral palsy, the dyskinetic cerebral palsy, and the ataxic cerebral palsy, all in one presentation as mixed cerebral palsy. That is what makes it a mix. It's a mixture of these three already mentioned all together, making it a mixed cerebral palsy. And it affects about 15% of cases is attributed to mixed cerebral palsy. Like I said, every case is unique, just like an individual, just like a person is. So not all cerebral palsies are the same, and not all of them have the same presentations. They have different presentation, and that's what makes them unique. As a person, you have a different attribute, you have a different characteristic, and that's what makes you unique too. Now brings us to about how does physiotherapy help cerebral palsies. Wow. When you say cerebral palsies, the first treatment that should come to your mind should be physiotherapy, because this is applications of there is restriction in the presentation to this. And what is the function of the physiotherapy? The function of the physiotherapy is basically around structure, right? Helping you back to regain what you don't have, or helping you to initiate a movement that you never had. So now physiotherapy, from immobility to mobility, that is where physiotherapy comes in. So the question shouldn't be, why is physiotherapy so important? The question should be, what can a physiotherapy do for you? So now let's get into it. What can a physiotherapy do for you? And a physiotherapy will basically help you. Imagine a condition where a patient, you can't walk for like, if you have a child and this child hasn't walked since birth, so 5 years old, and after sections of physiotherapy season, this patient finally takes his first step. Imagine the smile at his face. Imagine the miracle he will just assume that he just conducted on him. Imagine the hope, the ray of hope, the smile, the joy you can't just find from that. So that's where physiotherapy comes in, helping you from immobility to mobility. And then for a physiotherapy, that is pride, that's the joy of our work, evidence-based practice. When your patient is able to migrate from grade 1 to grade 2, there's a joy in it. It screams improvement. It screams, oh, you're really working and you're proud of yourself. Physiotherapy does not just take care of your structural appearance, it also helps with your mental issues and other issues likewise as well. Why awareness matters. Now here's the thing. Majority of the population don't understand what CP implies or the social anxiety attached to this. That's why you watching this video and me making this video matters. This is to encourage parents, to encourage students, or to encourage patients going through this, navigating through this life phase, to assure this individual with hope and to encourage them that every day the little effort they are putting in is what matters. After watching this video, whether you're a parent, a student, a patient, a cerebral patient living with this condition, you're part of this story. You and I, it's what makes a difference in the society. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to drop your comment on the comment section, and don't forget to share. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Yeah, thank you for watching the video. See you on my next episode. Thank you guys.